Paul LePage was not especially popular on the day he won the governorship, and his approval ratings are about the same now as his results were then, which is to say kind of low. He's not very popular. He very likely got into office because of that weird dynamic of that three-way race back in 2010. So now he's running for re-election. How about a replay of that exact same dynamic? As of today, the field for this race includes Republican Paul LePage again, and that same moderate independent guy from last time who's running again despite the pleadings of Maine Democrats. Now, though, this time the Democrat is a different candidate. The Democrat this time is a popular six-term Maine congressman and lifelong Mainer named Mike Michaud. This far out, the polling shows Mike Michaud leading, but not by much, only by 4 points. If it were just a two-way race, if it was just Mike Michaud versus Paul LePage, the Democrat would be leading by 15. But with the independent guy running 2 in a three-way race, the Democrats' lead shrinks down to just 4. You can see why Democrats would beg the independent to drop out of the race, right? If this is a two-way race, Democrat Mike Michaud, the congressman from northern Maine, he probably wins and wins pretty easily, and Paul LePage loses his job. But if it is not a two-way race, and right now it's not, it may very well be a different story a year from right now. Three-way race is how Maine got Paul LePage in the first place. Is it going to be a three-way race again? The Paul LePage governorship is amazing enough as a spectacle, right? The contest to try to replace him, which launched tonight in Maine, that contest was already a fascinating cannot look away type of campaign. That was all true before this happened. Saying he wanted to put an end to what he called a whisper campaign, Congressman Mike Michaud yesterday came out. He came out as gay after a public lifetime in the closet, including 6 terms in Congress. Should he manage to win this race against Paul LePage, Democrat Mike Michaud would be the first openly gay governor in the United States since Jim McGreevey of New Jersey declared himself to be a gay American while he was in the act of resigning the governorship in 2004. A decade later, in coming out, Mike Michaud has already made history, but he is hoping to make a lot more of it. Joining us now for the interview tonight is Mike Michaud, Democratic congressman from Maine and a candidate for governor. This is his first national interview since coming out in the Maine papers this weekend. Congressman Michaud, thanks very much for being here.
Well, thanks for having me, Rachel. Appreciate it.
So let me ask you the big strategic question about running for governor first. If we are looking at another 3-party race, including independent Elliott Cutler again, that's how Governor LePage got there in the first place. How do you intend to avoid a repeat of that next time around?
Well, 2014 is definitely a different election than 2010. We have, actually, I'm the new kid on the block. The other 2 candidates ran before. I have not run for governor before. When you look at the candidates, I'm a different type of candidate. I won 6 elections for the United States Congress. Overwhelmingly, even last year when there was supposed to be my tough re-election effort. But this race is definitely different. I'm a much stronger candidate. I come from the 2nd District, which not normally is difficult for a Democrat to win. So I feel really good about the race, even in the 3-way race. So we're going to run a very effective campaign, and we're going to talk about the issues important for the people in the state of Maine.
In terms of your decision this weekend to write that op-ed, which was in the Press Herald and the Bangor paper, also in the Associated Press, to come out and say that you wanted to get ahead of this whisper campaign, you wanted to let everybody know that you are gay and that it's nothing that you're ashamed of, and you wanted to let everybody know and set the record straight, so to speak. What can you tell us about the timing of that decision? Obviously, you've been able to serve Maine as a congressman for a very long time and as a state legislator before that without ever talking about this publicly. Why now?
Well, it never was an issue before. I've always ran for office talking about the issues. This was actually the first campaign that it had become an issue. And, I started hearing a little bit about it, questioning my sexuality, and I thought I'd come out, put it out to the voters in the state of Maine. Yes, I'm gay, but what's wrong with that? The fact of the matter is, I've punched a time clock in the mill for over 29 years. I've worked in the Maine legislature for 22 years, and a member of Congress will be 12 years. My personal life never affected how I do my job, and it definitely is not going to affect how I do my job if I'm elected governor. governor. And I want to get it all the way so we can talk about the issues. Maine is definitely a state that is hurting because of the poor direction our current governor has led Maine down. When you look at the health care, the expansion of Medicaid here in Maine, over 70,000 people in the state of Maine are not going to get covered because the governor decided to veto a compromise that was put forward by Republicans and Democrats in Maine legislature. And the fact of the matter is it actually would save Maine over $600,000 by that expansion of Medicaid here for voters, constituents in Maine. Jobs and the economy is very important. Yes, we do have the unemployment rate's been going down, but it doesn't mean people are getting jobs. It means they're not collecting unemployment. So we got a lot of issues here in Maine that we definitely have to focus on, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to governor, because I love the state of Maine. It really concerns me the direction we're being led by the current administration, and I'm looking forward to talking to the voters about the issues.
When you said that you were hearing that your sexual orientation was becoming an issue in this campaign, not by your choice, but because you were hearing that other people were starting to talk about it because you're running for governor, do you have the impression, or do you know that that was being done by people who were trying to use it against you, people trying to say it was a bad thing and it was a reason to not vote for you?
Yeah, I have no idea who is doing it, or whether it's an individual or organization. All I know is that there was speculation out there that I was gay, and I wanted to be upfront, be honest with the voters of the state of Maine. Yes, I am, but what should that matter? I'm the same person today that I was last week, last year and the year before. I'm Mike, and I want to talk about the issues. So it's very important for me to put that on the table so we can move on and talk about issues. I do not intend to make the governor's personal life or the independent's personal life part of the campaign, and hopefully they'll respect my privacy as well. Mainers definitely do respect privacy, and it's unfortunate there are those out there that want to make an issue, and I figured I'd put it on the table, get it all the way, and we can move on.
Congressman Mike Michaud from Maine's 2nd District, from the northern part of the state, candidate for governor now. Thanks very much for helping us understand your decisions on this tonight. Stay in touch with us over the course of this campaign. It's going to be fascinating to watch.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Nice to have you here, sir. All right, we'll be right back.